All right, welcome to the Ramble. I'm your learner Glithy, and today we're just winging it. Um that sounds worse than it is. But you probably noticed if you follow me actually that I didn't post any journal entries this week, and it's because I didn't do any. Uh this week was kind of a mess. So, let's talk about it. So first off, um I did do my major things for Japanese. So in that's doing stuff like Boomtron Migaku. Um, well, Migaku a little fell on the wayside at times. I will be honest. So I need to take care of that. Another thing that I think was really like good, but not done in necessarily the right way, is I did do lots of listening this week, but that was at work. So in my job, sometimes there's a lot of Japanese. I don't have to speak it, but I do have to listen. And so I did get my listening in a roundabout way. Um, and probably listening to some Japanese that I should learn, particularly because um, if I get good, I might be in line to maybe do some of that work one day. But my boss is on my ass about not, studying as hard as I could be. Uh, Another thing that just happened was just this week, I overloaded myself and it was so busy. Like a lot of extra work, a lot of extra socializing, and just so much time out of my house that is something I don't normally do and don't really enjoy. I am a homebody, so there's that. Ah, but to get down into it, I think that going forward, you're going to see the Ramble talk a lot about kind of what I'm doing to get myself back together in terms of studying Japanese. And so the big thing is, of course, doing Bunpro and Migaku so that I don't like, uh, what's a good way to say, like lower, forget my Japanese. I want to make sure that I'm still like maintaining. That's the right word. So there's going to be a lot of maintaining being done, I think, uh, going forward and just making sure I'm hitting those marks. The other thing is I want to do listening, reading, and the audio diary. So what I'm gonna do probably is start working harder to make sure that I do the audio diary and get kind of strict about uploads. Uh, the uploads are kind of how I ensure that I do the diary, so that's quite important to me to try to make sure that I get them done. But we'll see how that goes. Another thing is doing my listening and reading. And so those, of course, are important. Um, I do want to especially get into doing more reading. Listening, as long as I remember to do it, I do fairly well, so that's not a problem. But reading, I think, has been a thing I'm not consistently doing. So I wouldn't say it's the only weak point because I feel like both my listening comprehension and reading comprehension are low. And so that's my target to focus on, particularly next week. Mostly because next week I'm going to have more free time so that I can focus on those things. Uh, and I mean, I have other things that I should probably do, like speak to my friends in Japanese. Well, I speak to my Japanese friends in Japanese. Like, I live in Japan. I have Japanese friends, but we mostly speak English, which probably isn't helping too much. And considering the new rules that are coming down in Japan, hopefully, um, I'm gonna try to use those as the kick in the ass to like get myself moving. Because to be honest, my level of Japanese now to the level of Japanese that I want to be, there is no excuse really for me to not be at into uh next year, at the end of next year. At least I feel that way. Um, if life truly gets in the way, I'll like rethink that statement. But I think it's a pretty true statement so far. Uh, so I think that covers most things. I talked about Bunpro and Migaku, which I kind of like to tie together because though they have different functions, they are like for me kind of a package deal. And then listening, reading, and the audio diary. So those are the big things there. Then, because I tie the ramble together, let's talk about exercise. So, I got myself mostly together this week. I did 4 days of exercise this week. So, 3 days of strength training and cardio, and 1 day of pure cardio. Uh, Thursday, I just didn't have time in the morning, so I skipped it, which maybe not so good. And then on Sunday, I'll do my other cardio day. So I hopefully will get that done and dusted. Um, and then I I did a thing, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. And so I'm gonna talk about it now, and then I probably should talk about like exercise in the beginning because I probably get more comments. But I decided to try the body scanning software on your phone. Uh, I looked at the different ones, and for various reasons, I chose Zozofit. And my idea here was not to like be all locked in or whatever, but just to collect data. And so last week I did a scan, and then this week I did a scan, and oddly enough, the numbers went up. Now I feel like I set it up in mostly the same circumstances, so it makes me wonder uh if it's like a combination of things, like uh user error, uh app accuracy, things like that. But the reason I bring this up in my exercise thing is I really can't find like recent comments or reviews about it cuz I mostly like I use it the free version and I kind of just downloaded it for the fun of it. But now I'm questioning myself about like uh if even using it for fun is worth it because it seems like no one's talking about it. And so I'll probably do some more investigating on that because that just feels weird to me. Because I feel like something like that, even if it's not accurate, is usually like a thing. And like I said, I did it mostly because I thought it was interesting. And the free tier is, you do have to watch commercials, but that doesn't really bother me. So overall, I was just kind of, I guess, confused. If uh that might be the proper way to say it. I was confused because I thought that there would be more talk or commentary about this kind of app. But so in that, I did, like I said, 2 scans, and the second scan was higher. And it seems like the second scan was higher, probably due to, like I said, user error, but probably also some things like maybe water retention if the numbers are true. Um, I think I saw a thing that said that the error rate is like 1 centimeter or so, um, which feels like a lot actually, but I could be a little bit off there. And so, if you make it this far and you know anything about body scanning apps, so there's Zozofit, there's Me 360. I'm probably missing a couple of other ones. If you have experience or some commentary on it, I would be interested to know. Not because, like, I'm definitely not gonna like go all in or buy like some suit or spend money on it. Like, no way. But I did hope that, or I do hope, because I'm gonna use it for a little bit longer, that it does show some type of trend, which was kind of the idea because I do weigh myself, but because I'm doing ye old body recomposition, the scale doesn't change much. Um, and right now I don't really have like clothes in a different size that I can like check. And I wear a lot of like clothes that are like loose fitting or stretchy. So it's kind of hard to like do that kind of gauge to see what's going on. So I thought it would be like fun to do, but I guess my mistake. And so I think that's the big things there. Oh, I know what I forgot to do for fitness. Um, I also up my time for cardio. Instead of doing 33 minutes, I do 39 minutes, which I feel like is crazy, but that's fine. I decided I felt good enough to do so and will continue to do so. As for strength training, we're at a cool like 35 minutes, but um I don't know, mileage may vary. I really enjoy exercising now, which just feels so weird. And so, I think that's pretty much everything. We covered Japanese and we covered exercise. I'll probably put in a couple of notes about the different topics, but uh, that's all for now. Thank you for listening and see you next week.